Hello and welcome once again to Understanding A Course in Miracles. So in the last couple of videos, we've been looking at the themes of the course through the vehicle of children's stories. In this video, I'm going to do something similar, but not with a children's story. In fact, you may have seen this story on the news. It's a few years old now. But once again, we're going to be looking at it through the lens of A Course in Miracles. So this is the story of Michael and Tiffany and their unlikely friendship. Their story illustrates many themes in the course, including forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, also the harm caused by feeling separate from others, and two, the power of two people or more joining together for a common purpose. Michael and Tiffany's story is basically an illustration of the course. It's a course in miracles in a nutshell, a story about miracle working in action. So I'll let Michael and Tiffany tell their story in their own words.
Talk about that transformation process.
This is kind of a good story, but odd story. I got my caseload transferred to a black woman. I was a part of a skinhead group, a very violent group.
How did that happen?
When I was like 3 or 4 years old, my family moved us to Pennsylvania. We lived in the projects, and we were like the only white family there. So we got bullied a lot. We got picked on a lot because we didn't fit in with everybody. And it's just, I had a few bad encounters and stuff, and that just started stemming my hatred and my dislike and discontent. And when I got about 12 years old, I was locked up for, believe it or not, shoplifting condoms.
Oh my gosh, I'm
know?
freaking out because I have a little boy, and oh my gosh, that is very young, Michael K.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. So I ended up getting locked up, and that's where I got introduced to people that were like me, that were white supremacists. We had Fourth Reichs, we had neo-Nazis in there. And these are people I attached myself to because there were people like me that were in situations like me. And at that time, I had a lot of anger and a lot of rage in me. For one of the things is for not understanding why I wasn't liked and I wasn't accepted. And then as time went on, I was about 15 years old. I started getting involved more with higher ups in our organization, handing out pamphlets, doing protests at the state capitol. It was very, very, very bad time for me when my mind was really impressionable.
I was 12 years old. I finally got me a black friend. No animosity, nothing. We were thick as thieves. We got along great. He invited me over to his house. His mom says, I don't want that blue-eyed devil in my house. He was never allowed to hang out with me, never allowed to talk to me. My first encounter with racism was that day when I got discriminated against. And it's like, why? So from that day forward, you guys ain't liking me, accepting me, no matter what. I said, it's over. I had a German war flag. She says, you need to take that crap down and start putting up more positive stuff. Put up smiley faces. So when you wake up, you see positive instead of hate.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
That's a big change.
Led you to go, all right, I'll take the posters down, I'll try that on. And put up smiley faces? What made you do that?
Honestly, nobody liked me. Nobody wanted to be around me. If you would have seen me with shaved head, swastikas, and everything on my body, nobody approached me. Nobody would approach me. It's feeling hate with hate. People looked at me with hatred because what I was, and then I looked at them even more hateful because the way they looked at me, and I wasn't supposed to like them. And when she made that remark, she came up to my house that first day, it totally stumped me because I didn't even have people of my peer coming to my house by themselves. Everybody came in twos, or if there was one, they came with a sheriff. I thought for sure, no joke, she'll tell you, I thought either they were trying to get rid of her out of the probation office because they didn't like her, or they were trying to set me up. That was the first thing. That was the first thing that came to my mind, because honestly, I don't know why the hell I listened to her. I don't, because she's just, to me, another person. But she was one person that treated me like a man, treated me like a human being instead of a number. I didn't have anybody treating me like that for a very, very, very long time. It's like, this woman that I'm supposed to freaking hate.
Yeah.
Why is she doing this? Why is she there?
She shows up, flashlight on her car, everything. It's like, who the heck is this? Gained a lot of respect for her because I've never had, not even my own race, not even my own people come to my house by themselves. She showed up that day and it opened my eyes that she had some courage.
I had an idea of who he was by looking at him on paper. Saw the tattoos and the file. And my gut that day wasn't saying, don't go there by yourself. I listened to my gut. If I ever get that feeling, that intuition, I just say, I'm not gonna go there today. But that day was, okay, yeah, it was nighttime. And I looked around, nothing looked sketchy. And you see how I'm dressed when I go out in the field. I look like a SWAT team member.
I know that all too well.
And when he made that contact with me, he said, you're by yourself? Then I was kind of like, the hair on my neck stood up and I was like, had my hand on my gun. It's like, yes, I'm by myself. Is there any problems? And he was like, I have respect for you. No one's ever come to my house by themselves. They've always come in twos. And then just from there, he's been compliant with me. Had to talk to him about some issues, hey, I need you to do this or do that. But he turned it around. I never once thought about violating his probation.
Like this?
Yeah, this is an incredible story. Mike, that kind of hate that you described, that you feel when people look at you because they see the tattoos and everything. Just for the record, this is what a lot of Black people feel every day.
Yeah.
And so that I understand what you're talking about. Two, Tiffany, I think you are living proof. You're kind of an angel, to be honest with you. And you're living proof that if you can lead with humanity, respect, and love, then the barrier of hate can be broken. But it takes two. I think that's the key that I'm taking away from this, is that both of you had to have some sort of mutual respect for the other, and that foundation has led to this friendship.
This is just a personal question off the cuff, but is it a scary thing as well? Like, you're a part of this big thing and then you decide to walk away and say it's not okay. Is that a little fearful for you, of like people that you knew?
It was for a while, and it was really bad because I moved out of state. I couldn't change my life from where I was living. Don't get me wrong, it came with a really big sacrifice. I went years without seeing my kids. I went years without actually doing it. Anytime I came into town, I would have to sneak in on a plane late at night or early in the morning. I wasn't so much worried about me, but what could happen to my kids, because that's one of the things that we did, is we don't necessarily attack you. We'll go after the ones you love. As far as me, because I was one of those peoples that we went after our own for walking away from our lifestyle. We were branded. So I know how rough that was, and I know the consequences that came with this. So it was a big sacrifice I did to find myself and get this hate out of my heart. It's funny, I end up getting married like a year later. She was the only African-American person at my wedding, and that threw everybody through a loop. They're like, what the heck is going on here? That's how much of an impact, I'm shaking right now, it's not even funny. That's how much of an impact she had. She became family to me.
Smile. Before all this, I wouldn't work for anybody or with anybody that wasn't white. 13 people that work with me, I'm the only white person there. We have company parties, or they have quinceañeras, or barbecues, or birthday parties. I'm the only white guy there.
A teacher of God is anyone who chooses to be one. His qualifications consist solely in this. Somehow, somewhere, he has made a deliberate choice in which he did not see his interests as apart from someone else's. Once he has done that, his road is established and his direction is sure.
This transition.
I'm not here to judge him. That's not my job to judge. My job is to be that positive person in someone's life, try to make a difference.
I'm getting choked up again. If you got a strong support system and you have people that believe in you in a positive way, you can change.
Oh, wow. Please.
But let me ask you, I want to ask you a serious question, Tiffany. Why did you believe in me so much? Why did you keep coming back? Why did you want to help me to change? That's not your job. That wasn't your job.
It is my job. That's why I do my job.
Your job is to make sure I'm abiding by all the laws and not messing up, committing crimes, and doing my obligations. But you put forth more of an effort than anybody I've had in my life that actually tried to help me. Why? Coming into my house, telling me to get rid of things that I believed in. Who the heck are you to tell me to do this? Why did I listen to you?
I asked you to do it. I wanted you to be a better person. And that's why I do my job.
But if you would have seen me a year later, I would have spit on you. I don't understand why you took this time. And you encouraged me to change my life when other peers of my people didn't. Probation officers, parole officers, nobody wanted to help me. Why did you? Why was I your project?
You weren't my project.
No, but it seemed like that because you're there every step of the freaking way, wanting me to continue being better and better, and you push me, you strive. Let's get down all these racist things. Let's get down the flags. Let's get down Hitler. Why don't we put up smiley faces? One of the things we talk about all the time, and it makes me laugh, take down all that negative stuff and start putting up positive stuff. So when you go to bed, you have happy thoughts. And when you wake up, you're going to see the smiley faces and you're going to have a positive day. You didn't have to do that. Like I said, I'm a number. I could have been right back, but you made a project. I wouldn't be a good father. I wouldn't have been a good husband. I wouldn't be a man that I am today if it wasn't for your stubbornness. You're willing to push me. I don't get it, but I'm very thankful that day you came to my gate. You opened my eyes to a lot of things. You let me know there is a lot of beauty in this world beyond color, beyond anything. You know, because you showed me more love than I got from my own race, my own culture.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I've ever told you, but I love you. You've helped me. You've changed me.
The things I've did in my past, the people I've hurt.
That's in the past, Michael. You can't.
Listen to me for a second. The children and adults that I've hurt back when I was a child and as an adult. How can somebody love me for that? How can somebody respect me and accept me for the things I've did? That's why I've had all that hate in me. Because who would want me?
God. Man upstairs, you have to believe God has had some strong power, force. I don't know if it's me that had to come into your life to break down those walls, to bring love into your heart. But that's what it is. I honestly believe that.
2 years ago, I would have told you you're a liar. But since I've had time to do things and seeing and being blessed with all the people I've been talking to and meeting, I'm a firm believer of that now. It's just with everything I've been through, I'm actually being at peace with myself. I'm feeling good with myself, and I hate to say it, I got invited to church when my kids were out there, and I felt comfortable and relaxed when I went there. I felt at peace.
These last 5 years, my sense of purpose and faith and with the Lord has grown tremendously. And it's hard for me to understand, fathom, why do I have my clients, not just Michael, but I have a lot of my clients telling me, Tiffany, without you, I wouldn't be where I am. And that's hard for me. I don't understand that. What have I done? But I have the strong belief that the Lord is using me
As a host.
for Him. Michael, I'm going to tell you how the Lord feels about you. He sees you as, or He saw you as a young boy. And He's seen you grow into a man. He wants you to spread His word of love, acceptance, forgiveness. And you question how you can be forgiven? He forgives no matter how bad our sins are. You have to forgive yourself. I forgive you.
There is a course for every teacher of God. And everyone in this context is a teacher of God. The form of the course varies greatly. So do the particular teaching aids involved. But the content of the course never changes. Its central theme is always, God's Son is guiltless. You are guiltless. We are guiltless. And in our innocence is our salvation. This theme can be taught by actions or thoughts, in words or soundlessly, in any language or in no language, in any place or time or manner. It does not matter who the teacher was before he heard the call. He has become a saviour by his answering. He has seen someone else as himself.